Hello, and welcome back to the Uncensored Journey podcast, where we say whatever the fuck we want because it's our journey, like it or not. I am Cindy, and with me, as always, is Gabriella. Hi, Gabriella.
Hi, Cindy.
On today's podcast, we will be discussing holistic healing and recognizing and nurturing the interconnectedness of the mind, body, and spirit. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I think that it is very important to nurture all aspects of ourselves, and that in the same manner that it takes a village to raise a kid, it takes a village to heal oneself. And by that, I mean, it takes the spiritual, mental, emotional, physical um efforts, right? Like and energy and attention that we get to put into each aspect of our bodies to be in harmony with them, and to operate um at 100%, to operate at our best and highest capacity. So holistic healing is very dear and close to my heart. And I wanted to see, Cindy, what does that mean to you? What does holistic healing mean to you personally? Have you experienced it? What's your take on it?
I have both physically and mentally holistic healing. I think I've mentioned on the podcast before that I've given up. I gave up Western medicine for holistic healing for my body, which looks a lot like herbs and eating certain foods and exercise and sunlight and grounding and things along those lines, healing my body. It goes beyond that too. For it goes beyond that into my mind as well, and my spirit, which means that I keep I have a spiritual practice that I do daily, and I have within that spiritual practice also is daily tasks to keep my mind also focused and full of self-care and journaling and meditation and cultivating relationships and things along those lines. But yeah, to get to the point of what it means to me personally, it means survival. It means happiness. It means self-respect. It means, self-worth. It means better relationships with others, with myself. It means everything. It's whole. It makes my life whole. It holistically makes it whole.
I love it.
How about you?
Yeah, I trying to think if so ever since I've started on my self-love healing journey of giving myself the love and compassion that I give to others, and really experiencing it full-heartedly. I've explored Eastern modalities to a big degree, and so I love, like you said, the herbs. I love acupuncture, and I practice that. I get it. I get treatments frequently, and biohacking modalities like cryotherapy that helps regulate the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system. And yeah, just good old-fashioned meditation, and taking a minute and expressing gratitude for myself, as well as for others. And yeah, I've been experimenting for the last 7 years. You probably have me beat. It's not a competition, but I'm sure you you have experienced even more modalities. And I find it fascinating how, all the energetic healing that you could be doing, plant medicine, all the things, or just purely connecting with your food, right? Connecting with um, all the things that go into your body, because guess what? Everything has energy and everything holds an energetic imprint that you get to ingest and use and utilize to its best and highest capacity. So yeah, holistic healing is, I think it's imperative, like you said, it's a way of life, and um, it's good for your sanity, it's good for your body, it's good for everything, really, everything that you do in life. And best of all, it does not have side effects. The side effect is happiness. The side effect may be joy and increased self-esteem, right? With Western medicine, and I'm a little biased, but I have yet to find Western medicine to be of any use other than, God forbid you break something. Outside of that, I do not believe there's a purpose or a use for Western medicine.
Well, sure, they take your money for no reason.
Yes,
I digress.
no,
I digress.
no interest for us, right? For
Yes,
us as
yes,
the
yes.
consumers and the
No, no,
clients.
no. I know. I had to take the dig because it leads me to my next question. And my answer to this question is, in what ways have you experienced or witnessed the benefits of holistic healing in your life or others' lives? And I'll let you answer this, but I'm gonna jump in here because what kind of got me started on this holistic, like fully holistic journey was I've mentioned before I was a vegan for almost 18 years, and that started in 1993, when that was not even it wasn't cool to be a vegan. In fact, there was not a lot of options. But that kicked me up on my thing. But when I was 25 years old, let me back up. When I was 13 years old, I hurt my knee, and it had been bothering me all these years. And then when I was 25 years old, I was getting ready to test to a black belt. I think I've shared this story before, but really quickly is that Western medicine wanted to cut me open to see if something was wrong. After extensive testing, I went through every test: MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, you name it, they tested it. Couldn't find anything wrong with it. Acupuncture was recommended to me, and I went, and he fixed my damn knee in like a couple of weeks, few
Sounds
weeks, maybe a
great.
month. So the benefits of holistic healing was, I didn't have to get cut open. B, it was fast, right? Because like cutting me open, healing would have been like 6+ weeks, and this was like a month in, and I was already feeling better. And C, it unlocked a lifelong now journey of finding alternative ways to heal myself that doesn't have anything to do with Western medicine. And since then, I haven't, I don't take Tylenol, I don't take Advil, I don't take prescription drugs of any kind. I really focus on what's going in my body. And there's alternatives. Like aspirin started out, what white willow bark turned into aspirin when they found out, when they could turn it into a chemical that could be mass produced, right? But really, a pain reliever, white willow bark, works just fine. It's essentially aspirin. So before they added the chemicals. So there's ways to do it. But also, I'll won't get into this too much, but there's something to be said about not masking the pain, because how do you know when it's done? Or like, how do you know how to fix your situation if you're masking the pain? If you have if something is wrong and you're masking it, then how do you know when it's like, how are you going to know when it's better? How are you going to know when, or how to fix it? So, yeah, there's a lot to be said. Holistic healing is definitely my thing. That's the body side. The mind side is I frequently meditate. I take sound bath. I do sound baths. I I practice, like I write gratitude lists. I make sure that I'm connected to my higher power at all times in that way. um and just try to live the best life I can. So I now ask you the same question. What ways have you experienced or witnessed benefits of holistic healing in your life or in others' lives?
Yeah. I also do not take any prescription medication or aspirins or Advils or any of that. And quite honestly, I would default to plant medicine sooner than I would take any over-the-counter or prescription medication, because I know what happens in the body. Um, yeah, holistic healing. Well, for me, like I said, my journey started about 7 years ago, and it started with being vegan. And but it was a lot more than that. It was a mind, emotional, and then spiritual transformation that I was going for. At the time, I had a belief that, looking back, it was a little limiting, but nevertheless, was um, I started on the journey of Reiki, which is another Eastern modality of bringing the energy points, the chakras into alignment and making sure that they're running optimally. And as a practitioner at the time, I was told by my Reiki master that in order to be a pure channel for to support others and to bring healing to others, I needed to make sure that I limit the animal products that I was ingesting. And ultimately, that would be best that I remove them completely. And, that worked for a while. And I had a whole lot more energy, and I felt great for quite a bit of time. I probably had a vegan diet in a past life because it really resonated with me really well. And then I embarked on plant medicine, psychedelics, so mother ayahuasca, um, mushrooms, and that loosened my limiting beliefs up, and it opened me up to a world full of possibility, a world where to be a healer, you don't have to um, make sacrifices. You get to have your own life, and a life where I could be in the both and you know I still do Reiki sessions and energy sessions, and now I'm eating meat, and that's okay. And I also, I've really been on a journey with meditation. It didn't really come as natural to me. And it's definitely been a process. And, the more I learn and listen to other people and how they experience it, the deeper I get to go. And I could say hands down that meditation and breath work, we're actually going to do an episode about that later on, are the best way to co-regulate your nervous system, your vagus nerve, and to bring you into a harmonious state, which is so important in today's world where we're constantly bombarded with information, overloaded and at capacity. It's just so good to connect with yourself and then connect with nature. So I think, yeah, the people that I surround myself with are believers in holistic healing, and it's just really cool to learn from one another and to listen to each other's stories and so on.
Agreed. Uh,
Can you recall an experience where you felt a strong connection between your emotions or thoughts and physical sensations in your body?
Mm.
I'm looking at you, plant medicine.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was this one experience that it was very powerful, and um it's I laugh because I've been to Panama, I've been to Peru, and I've also been in Oregon and had plant medicine experiences. And the strongest experience that I had, and the most congruent and in harmony that I had, was in a garage in San Diego. So that goes to show that you don't have to travel very far to to get that experience and that connection, and that the power of intention is paramount. And yeah, power of intention and the state of mind that you're in, um so important.
So like that leads me to the next question is how do you think your mental state influences your physical well-being and vice versa?
um oh, like 1,000%. I think that if you're in a negative state of mind, or low frequency, you cave in into the fear propaganda that's put out there, or scarcity mentality, or any low frequency emotion. Your physical is going to respond, is going to listen, and is going to go in a bit of a frenzy, because it's looking to calm you and to make sure that you're okay. So I think being in a place of neutrality and doing your best and our best to observe versus to react and take everything at face value is is so important. So important. What about you? What's your take
No,
on that?
I agree 100%. Well, I thought, what'd you say, 1,000%? Is that what you said? I agree. I every like right now, everybody around me is sick. They have a cold. It's like this, everybody's taking everybody out, right? Like my trainer has been out, my mom's gotten it. There's so many people at the gym who have it, but I have not gotten it. So either my immune system is amazing, or I like we're talking about is my mental state is influencing my physical well-being, because I'm under the impression that I don't get sick. I am healthy all the time, and I'm constantly healthy, and so I think that that has given me a leg up um in just in the whole like wellness situation right now going on in my area. But also I I practice my spiritual practice every day, allows me to keep in a positive state of mind, and it
Mhm.
keeps me to have a constant connection with with the universe that's keeping me well. And so my mind is constantly on the fact that like I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy. But on the contrast, I have a friend who is always negative. Like they always go to the negative part, and anything could happen, and they could find the negative in anything. And she has stomach troubles. Like her stomach is always hurting, she's always getting sick, there's always some sort of physical ailment. And I keep telling her that like your your attitude has to do with your physical situation, but they're not there yet and they don't believe me. But I watch it happen over and over again. So not at to the detriment of her, but like people around me who don't think that give me an opportunity to be reminded all the time that watch what you think, like watch what you do. And I'm also think that the universe doesn't hear negative. So like I don't get sick isn't a good affirmation, right? But like I am healthy is, because I don't think the universe hears negative. So the don't part is there. So all the universe is hearing is like, I get sick, I get sick, I get sick. And that's not what I wanted to hear. So I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy is the mantra. And I try to keep that going as much as possible, because being sick is miserable, and I'm healthy. So there's that. Um, what are there any practices or activities that help you maintain a balance between your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being?
Yeah, so working out, I think for me it's my me time, and it's also an opportunity to really be in my body and be appreciative for the things that it could do. Um, Chanting, it really helps me be centered and connected with my voice and um, my flow, like my sexual energy, my prana. It helps keep a clear channel for expression and manifestation. And of course, meditation and breath work. You know, I know that some people may feel a little overwhelmed when they're starting and they hear meditation and they hear breath work or chanting or whatever. Um, it doesn't have to be an hour. It could be 3 minutes. It could be, 5 minutes. It does not have to be long. And the reason I say that is it's better to do 3 minutes than to do nothing. And for anyone that's looking to try out any of these modalities, start small, and then build that habit. For the first week, do 3 minutes, then the next week, do 4 minutes, and just continue building on it, and really stop and notice and see how your attitude, your life, your relationships and connections change and shift into how you connect with everything.
100%. I do similar things. I have this whole routine that I do, but you just quickly, for the people trying to get into meditation, there's like a 16-second meditation. Really, it's just 16-second breath work. It's the box breath, right? Where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds, and you hold it for 4 seconds. Really, you could do that one time. Start there. Like, meditation doesn't have to be this big bad thing. And sometimes just when people like just kind of take a breath and like pinch the bridge of their nose and just like take a second for themselves, that could be meditative. Like, I cook and I bake, and that's meditation for me. So like, it could be little things like I go for walks every day. That's meditation for me. It doesn't have to be sitting on a cushion cross-legged with your fingers, your middle and your thumb fingers touching and like oming, right? You don't like, you don't have to do all that. Just take a second for yourself, take some breaths, and like, and just kind of detach from the day. That's really all it is. It's just a detachment from your quote unquote real life, and like just attaching. So the practices and activities that I do to help maintain balance is I wake up in the mornings, and before I get out of bed, I do that box breath. It helps me just kind of focus and slow down for the day. And then I get up, I wake up to a song that makes me happy instead of just the of an alarm. Like,
I love that.
it makes it better for me to wake up and I'm excited to like meet the day with something pleasant. I listen to podcasts and books on tape, or like, well, dating myself, audiobooks that of topics and things that feed my soul, instead of just sitting in silence or getting ready in silence to like my own thoughts, right? Or I go for a walk, I come back, I read, I take some time to read, and then I go to the gym and I come back and I start making my breakfast, and I end the day with I work and like do work and like do things throughout the day, and get, I have a real life where I got to do stuff, but I end my day with a gratitude list, a win for the day, and I write a love letter to myself. I think we've talked about that on here. If not, we can definitely do that. But I write the love letter to myself and make sure that I end my day on a positive note. And I do that box breath one last time before I go to sleep, and then my day is ended. So like my whole day is spent with like some conscious contact with my higher power or myself, like making sure that my needs are met and keeping me balanced throughout the day. I know I've said this before, but I will continue to say it again. I think that my life, I know for a fact, but I think in general, life boils down to three things, and it's perspective, choices, and faith in some sort of higher power. You name it, whatever it may look like to you, but um, like being able to switch perspective to make things how you need it to be. Like not everything is big, bad, and negative, and switch it to be positive. And the choices that we make are dictate how our days are going to turn out. So every day I wake up with a choice to have that conscious contact and like continue with my and work on myself all day long, and it helps me stay balanced. It helps my mental state. It helps me physically because like I'm excited to go to the gym. Don't tell my trainer that. I pretend I hate being there, but really it's something I look forward to every day. And one thing I started doing just really quickly is I have a watch that alerts my I have an Apple Watch, so it alerts me every time I get a text message or any kind of alert, right? And so I was constantly like checking my watch at the gym, but this is me. I realize it's me time. So now I just started putting it on do not disturb. So until I leave the gym, my phone is not alerting me all the time, which has been a game changer for me because I'm able to focus in on what I'm doing and really use that time for me time. Because I didn't realize it, but I was sharing that time with every single alert that came through my phone, and it was driving me nuts. So um yeah, those are the things that I do. Sorry for being so long-winded, but there you go.
I love that, and I'm glad you changed your notifications.
Me too, me too.
Yeah.
uh so how do you approach self-care practices that address the needs of your mind, body, and spirit simultaneously?
Mm, well, I keep going back to breath work and meditation because I think those work hand in hand. And I I also notice, right, like having a practice of being mindful when things start shifting in my mind, body, and spirit, like something bothers me, then I take notice and see why is that? And I, instead of being like, oh no, like you're doing this again, I'm like, oh, I'm curious to see where this is going and why is this showing up right now and right here? And how can I either release it or, um, speak my truth? A lot of the times it's connected with me not speaking up and saying what's on my mind in a loving way and with aloha or with, you know, love and being gentle. And yeah, I think breath work has been a real game changer for me. And yeah, journaling. There's this practice called stream of consciousness where you just start writing, and then if you don't know what to write about, you just say, I don't know what to write about until your consciousness comes through. And that's really insightful as well because you could discover, hey, like there's this one thing that's really been bugging me, and now it's on paper and I see why there's a conflict. Um, yeah, I think that's very powerful. And also, you said that you have a practice and a routine, and I do too. And I think that something that we don't really talk about as much, there's this concept of being, doing, having. And we get to do a lot of rituals and a lot of tasks and stuff like that. and then we don't really get to just be, or that's how I find myself, because I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling all my responsibilities and also like taking time for myself. And then when I take time for myself, it's also an action. So I'm doing something, right? Like I'm chanting, I'm doing breath work or whatever. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I saw this on someone else's channel, and they were talking about how we don't know, or like we tend to busy ourselves and like occupying every minute of our day, and we don't really know how to be bored, and or like how to just be and like observe and notice. Like that's when the $1 million idea comes through, when you just sit, stop, and don't listen to anything, don't watch anything, don't read anything, just be and notice and observe, and let like your subconscious, your higher self, source, God just come through and see what comes through. Sometimes you'll be surprised of the insight and ideas that you get. So that's something else that I'm working on just being, and literally blocking time on my calendar and saying, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to be stimulated in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to be reading anything. I'm just going to be and see what comes through.
Awesome. I love that. How do you handle moments of imbalance or disharmony between your mind, body, and spirit?
Um, well, um, I, so over the last year or so, I've been using different techniques, but now it's just noticing, right? Like I said before, when something comes through, it's noticing like, how am I at cause? What am I doing to create this imbalance? And how can I shift it into, you know, bringing my body, my mind, spirit into balance? Um, yeah, a lot of times what I do that really helps is go for a walk, connect with nature, be in nature, move my body, break into a spontaneous dance, put like a favorite song, and just, just movement moves energy and moves any stuck energy or anything that may be out of balance, and it 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 shakes it off, and then it brings you back into balance, which is really beautiful, powerful. It's simple, it's free, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to achieve that. So yeah.
Awesome.
What about you? What do you do?
Oh, I don't, there's a lot of things that I end up doing, but when things aren't going, when everything is going wrong, I feel like everything is going wrong, it's because of me, right? Like there's something off balance in my thing. So what I end up doing is stepping back and looking at the situation, similar to like what you said, is like, what, what am I doing in my little like universe here that is making everything off balance and off kilter, because I usually, not that my world revolves around me, right? So like everything, something, there always has to be some reason. And so I step back and I take a good look and try to figure out the root of it. And then, I use shamanic drums to get my answers come with shamanic drums. And so I usually turn those on. I usually turn on a recording of those and listen to them and sit and try to figure out what is happening. I also go for walks and try to get out in nature. I've been doing a lot of like grounding. I'll like go and on out to the front lawn and just with no shoes and walk around. It's a little cold now, so I bought a grounding mat that I have, and I'll just stand on that to try to kind of focus back and like to go back what you were saying, it just being like, I guess that's kind of where unscheduled and unintentional, but like just being in the like just being on the grass or just being out with nature, trying to, I know that's not what exactly what you meant, but sometimes like, I usually listen to something when I'm walking, but some days I'm just like fuck it, and I just listen to my, and I just have my thoughts, right? So like I don't want to listen to anything, just my thoughts. So for like the hour I'm on my walk, it's just me and nature. So there's that. It's just I guess you're just finding what, I guess it's finding how you connect with your source or your higher power, that and how you receive the information to figure out how to balance yourself back out. um I also, one of the things I do is start my day over. So if everything is going wrong, like there's a saying that if you meet three assholes by noon, you're the asshole. And so
Yes.
I'm like, crap, I gotta start, I'll just start my day over and be like, okay, I'm not meeting any more assholes today. Like, this is it. Like, let's just start over from now and then like move on with my day. So, um, those are just some of my little ways that I do it. So,
I love that. And yeah, as you're talking about, like making it your own, right? Like another way that I connect, and also like it really helps me ground, is like through water, right? Like connecting, like taking an Epsom salt bath, and or just like taking a shower, and just visualizing that anything that's low frequency or out of harmony is just being released down the drain with the water. That's also something that supports me. So yeah, just finding whatever works for you, right? Like there's ecstatic dancing, there's ecstatic meditation, there's like all these modalities and different niches and ways that people release imbalances and disharmonies within the bodies. So yeah, play with it, experiment, and see what works for you.
that's actually, I just to big piggyback on that, I completely forgotten it, but water, water plays, I also do, like, I don't take bath, I do take baths, I love them, but I like to go like just sit and watch the waves. Don't like going in the ocean, but I'll just go sit and watch the waves, or like watch a creek or a stream or a river, like just go by. And that's very meditative for me. I can kind of get lost in the waves and the movement of the water. It's very, I think it's very powerful way. But you also, maybe it's the elements, maybe, I guess, because I do the same thing with fire. Like we have a fire pit, and I
Mhm.
like to start the fire and like just go out there and just kind of sit by it and watch the flames trickle and flicker, I guess would be a better word for that. But that's also a good opportunity for me to, with the flame, is to then like write down what's going wrong and throwing it in there and giving it away, like getting rid of it completely. So um yeah, there's so many options. It's just finding what works for you, I guess, to balance yourself back out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's beautiful. And I agree with you. It is the elements 100%. That's they're very powerful. And if we get to connect with them and one resonates more over the other, that's even more beautiful. Whichever it is
100%.
though.
Right, 100%. So we'll end on this question: is what advice would you give to someone who is interested in embracing a more holistic approach to their well-being but doesn't know where to start?
Mm. Start with your breath, you know. I I've experimented with so many different things, but just very simple mantra that I use whenever I would get a little uncomfortable or a little agitated, or I just had way too many thoughts going on. I would do the box breathing, and I would say to myself, all I am is my breath, and just focus on that and really connecting and seeing how vital, breathing is, and how powerful it could be into bringing you from a state of agitation, overwhelm, to a complete state of harmony and just neutrality, which I think it's very beautiful. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. And then also do your best to spend as much time in nature as you can. We're constantly bombarded with EMF waves and just electromagnetic pollution. So the more time you spend inside, surrounded by the Wi-Fi waves and all the other waves, um, it's not very good for any of your bodies, really. So like going outside, grounding, and just connecting with the elements could have a tremendous shift in your life. What about
I
you?
agree with all of that. I would, my advice, my suggestion would be to find out, try everything. Try everything before you decide what works for you, because oftentimes, for me, I know, at least, like, I'm like, oh well, that didn't work, I guess nothing works, like, I throw my hands up. But like, there's so many ways to connect to yourself and like connect holistically, that, like, just keep trying something. Like, we keep saying breath work and meditation, right? But there's like a million ways to do breath work. There's a million ways to do meditation. There's a million ways to ground yourself. Well, maybe not a million, but there's different ways to do it, right? Like, you can
Absolutely.
ground yourself in sand, in grass, just like connecting to the earth. They have pads that you could buy that do it, right? But like, there's so many different ways. And so I think, like, making the decision to start is a great start. Like, just making a decision to want to make changes in your life, I think that sparks, like, it sparks your mindset to start thinking more holistically and more about yourself. And also, I guess I would remind people too that, it is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is not selfish to put yourself first. It is not selfish to take some time for self-care. And taking time for yourself to better yourself, or just for your well-being in general, is so very important. And like, for me, it's vital to survive. So I guess that would be my suggestion for people trying to get started, is like, find out what works for you, keep trying new things, and focus on yourself. Like, bringing that focus back to yourself helps every single time. Like, as soon as it starts veering off to somebody else, you turn that shit and come right back to you, because you're the only one looking out for you. You're important to yourself. You should be important to yourself. So, yes.
Yeah.
Any last words of wisdom?
um well, I guess I keep going back and thinking of, the boundaries conversation we had, an episode we had. It's, you know um the best way to teach others how to treat you is by first taking really good care of yourself, and showing yourself the love and appreciation and compassion that you show to others. So yeah, it is absolutely not selfish. It is paramount and imperative for you to fill your cup first, so that you could give to others the same level of love and appreciation that you have within yourself, right? So yes, take care of yourself as much as you can and every chance you get.
Yes, agreed. And with that, we'll remind you to put yourself first always, and to like and subscribe. Put us second in your and like and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening on right now. Stay tuned for more exciting news and content, and we will see you next week. Have a great day.